Come and join thousands of educators in Improve. In this guide, you will learn how to create your Improve Educator Profile, view your Improve badges and e-certificates, record your learning hours in SPLKPM. Here's how you can create an Improve Educator Profile. First, go to improve.eltc.edu.my. Then, click on View My Profile. If you have not created an Improve Educator Profile, click Sign Up here to create your new profile. If you already have a profile, enter your IC number, without a dash, and password that you have set. Next, click Login. Once you have logged in, click View Profile to view your details. Click Edit Profile if you need to upload a profile picture or change your details. Your e-certificates will be generated based on the details in your profile. Click Change Password if you need to change your current password. Click View Badges and Certificates to proceed. This is how you can view your Improve badges and e-certificates. All of your awarded badges will appear here. All of your awarded certificates and course records will appear here. Click on the blue icon to view your e-certificate for each course. Your e-certificate will be generated in a PDF format. You may download and print your e-certificate. To ensure that all of your e-certificates are secured, there will be a unique QR code for each of your e-certificate. When scanned, the QR code will lead to a verification page with the details of your course completion. You will also receive a notification via your registered email for any new certificate that is awarded to you after you have completed a course. If you don't see the notification email in your inbox, kindly check your spam or junk emails. You can also add the ELTC web admin to your contact list to avoid any delivery error. To record learning hours in SPLKPM, go to the website. After that, open the appropriate module. Next, log into your module using your IC number and password. Once logged in, open the menu and click the following items. Click the appropriate tab and add an activity. After that, select Improve from the menu. Fill in the title, learning hours and completion date based on the e-certificate that is awarded to you. Finally, click Save to finish. Your learning hours will be recorded in SPLKPM. Start improving yourself at improve.eltc.edu.my today.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Gamification with Genially webinar, brought to you live from the English Language Teaching Center, ELTC, Ministry of Education, Malaysia. I am Dr. Nur Fazim binti Sadun, your moderator for this webinar, and we are delighted to have Ms. Liang Michelle from UOW Malaysia, KDU Penang University College, as our speaker for today's webinar. She will be talking about how Genially can be used for interactive and meaningful English language teaching and learning. Please take note that this webinar has a follow-up micro-credential course where you can earn e-certificate and learning recognition on our Improve portal as well. So, hi Michelle, how are you today?
Hi, good afternoon, Dr. Fazlin. I'm good.
All right, thank you for being here. So let me tell you a bit of background information on our speaker for today. Liang Michelle is the head of Department of Languages at UOW Malaysia, KDU Penang University College. She has a Master of Arts in Linguistics and English Language Studies. She has also obtained the Cambridge International Diploma for Teachers and Trainers, or CIDTT. In her present capacity as a senior lecturer and trainer, she specializes in designing and developing courses. She provides training to the lecturers, teachers, students at all levels, and corporate customers as well. Her research is focused on educational technologies and English language teaching. So without further ado, I hand over the session to Michelle. Over to you, Michelle.
Right. Thank you for the introduction and for having me here today, Dr. Fazlin. I'm really humbled and honored to be here to share a little bit about Genially and its greatness in gamifying learning. So I do hope all the participants can benefit from this session today and have a little bit of magic in your classroom. So at the end of this webinar, I hope that you'll be able to explain the reasons for using gamification in teaching and learning, and also create a game with Genially. Now, before we get to know about Genially more, I think it's really important that we understand the what, why, and how of gamification. So what exactly is gamification? So Dieter Ding here and his friends has defined gamification as the use of game design elements in non-game context. And what does this actually really mean? It actually means that we are using game-based mechanics, aesthetics, and also game thinking to engage people, motivate action, promote learning, and solve problems. So in other words, gamification is an integration of game elements and game thinking into activities that are not games, which means it's like our learning activities. So games, as we all know, have some distinctive features, yeah? So what are the features of games? Typically, you will find that in games, the users are the participants, they are the players, and there are different kinds of challenges and tasks that the participants must perform or do. There will be points that will be awarded for completing certain tasks. There will also be badges that will come along with it, and perhaps also some ranking. I'm sure you have played many different games before. So then the next question you might ask is, why use gamification in teaching and learning, right? So research has shown that gamification reinforces a particular desired learning behavior, helps learners to achieve task performance, supports learners' motivation and engagement, and most importantly, it affects achievement of learning outcomes. And that's basically what we teachers hope to have. So I'm sure all of you have had a fair amount of online teaching experience. Maybe the word fair amount is probably understated, yeah. And I'm also pretty sure that the number one challenge that you face is like maintaining student engagement to ensure that they actually learn something. Well, I think that the topic on engaging students is never really an easy one. You know, what's more now with remote teaching, we find that it's even more difficult to engage with our students because we are not in the same space. So pre-COVID days, I've always used board games, card games, whatever games with my students, because I find that by doing that, they actually really take opportunities to practice using English language in the classroom. And it really helps them to remember what they have learned and finally be able to use it in real life situations. So in my online classroom, be it synchronous or asynchronous, I've tried my best to include various language games in whatever activities that I want to do with my students. So Genially is obviously one of my favorites, as it's really interactive and it's so easy to use. So let's get to know a little bit more about Genially. So Genially is actually a tool, or you can call it an app, that brings content to life. And just like it's one of his tagline here, it says that it makes you feel like a genius because you can actually do it so quickly and so easily, and you can create stunning games and interactive activities for your students. So how does Genially promote gamification, you might ask, right? Well, you can actually use various tools inside to enrich the content with its really nice design and create that really impactful game-like wow, effect that you can give to your students. So let's learn about all the characteristics that you have in Genially. The first one is it's animation. You can enrich your learning tasks with various designs to create game-like wow effects using the different types of animation to bring your content to life. You can put in visual effects and transition between pages and all. You can also have interactivity where you can put layers of information to create content, and really there is no programming skills required to do this. And with all these various digital apps around you now, you can also integrate them and embed it inside Genially so that everything stays in one place. And the best thing of all is it's really like magic because all this can be done so easily and so quickly. So what you can achieve is great learning content that is really suitable for the 21st century learners in your classroom. So the many features in Genially can make your content memorable as it increases retention and also improve engagement. Now, best of all is its interactive features can be used to gamify your learning tasks to improve concentration and increase engagement. Now, let's give this a go. It's a game that I've created. You can try it out now. You can scan the QR code there or go to the link that you see. Okay, so this particular game is something that I use as a set induction for my students as I want to teach them the topic on writing stories, writing narrative. And also at the same time, I want them to revise a little bit on tenses that they have learned and also highlight to them that the fact is usually when we write stories, it's much easier to write it in the past tense. So give it a go. I'll give you 2 minutes to try this out.
Looks interesting.
So how is it? So that is something I would do as a set induction, and then after that, as you end the game, there is a question there that asks, what happened, because the story is unfinished, obviously, and I would get my students to come up with their story, what they think will happen after that, just to get them thinking, to brainstorm on different ideas on how to write an interesting story. So now I'm going to show you how to easily create this kind of learning activities for your students. So firstly, I hope you have already signed up for an account in Genially. If you have not, you can just easily sign up for an account here by clicking still haven't signed up, okay? Or if you have already, just log into your account and you will come to your dashboard. Okay, so today we are going to just focus on creating a simple quiz that you can use with your student, just like a game. Yeah, so typically you will see on your dashboard here, this is mine. You will have this one that is called Create Genially. There's a plus sign here. So what you do is just click on it and you will come to this page. Now, as you can see here in Genially, you can create many different things. But for today's session, we're going to focus on gamification. So click on Create. and you will come to this page. Now here you will see that Genially has divided gamification into 3 types. There are quizzes, then you scroll down, there are games, and there are escape games. Okay, so typically quizzes, as you know, quizzes where you will quiz your student asking them A, B, or C kind of answer. And games are something that I would say it doesn't really require your students to choose A, B, or C, but rather they can match by drawing lines over it. And there are also what you call board games that you can create. Later, Dr. Fazlin will also share with you a list of examples that I've of games that I've created using all these different templates here. And there are also the escape games, which will I would say require a little bit more patience and time to create, but it's not difficult, I would say, yeah, because there are a lot of templates here that you can use. There is one that I've also given to Dr. Fazlin, and she will share with you. Okay, so if your account is a free account, you will notice that all this star here will be, if I'm not wrong, in yellow. Okay, so that would mean that you have to actually subscribe and pay for the templates. Okay, so right now this particular account that I'm using is a paid account. So what I'll do is I'm just going to switch off all those paid templates, and what you see here, all these are free. Okay, all these are free templates. Just this morning only, I think Genially added a few more new templates. Yeah. Okay, I see some new templates here. I think this is new if I'm not wrong. Okay, so there are many templates already here, ready for you to use. So all you need to do is first think about what is it that you want to do with your students? Is there a certain theme to it? Okay, if there is a certain theme that you want to use with your students, I think maybe some of us, usually teach like probably you go with things like countries, or you're going with transportation, or what else, plants, or anything like that. Then you might want to find a theme that is suitable, that suits your team. But if there is none, it's fine, because there are some which are really kind of like generic that you can use for anything at all. So choose one that you think that you like. If you're not too sure how the template looks like, you can always just click on it, and then there is a preview that comes out, and you can actually see what is it like and whether it's suitable for your type of questions or not. Okay, so say for example, I think this is pretty nice and it kind of like suits what I want my students to do. So what I do is I can just click use this template. But before that, I can also select the palette, as in the colors that are available. As you can see here, when I click, the color changes. So if you think that you want a darker background, you can choose the darker background. Okay, if you want a white background, you can go with this. So if I'm happy with this, I'll just go with the white background, and I say use this template. Okay, so once you have done that, it will automatically go to your dashboard. So you've got to wait for a while for it to go into it. So it would be great that if you already have a list of questions that you want to put into this Genially of yours. So here you will see that it has pages. Yeah, on your left here, there are pages, somewhat like PowerPoint. If you're familiar with PowerPoint, the slides, okay, they have various slides here. They call it pages. So this is the first one, and you can easily just click on it and replace the name of the Genially. So here, perhaps, let's say I'm doing one on subject agreement, yeah. I'll just type verb. Okay, and you can also add your subtopic or maybe instruction here. So maybe my subject verb agreement quiz will be on indefinite pronoun. Okay, and that's it. So you have your first page. So you may think then the background seems rather odd. Yeah, the picture is some mathematics questions, right? Not quite suitable to your subject verb agreement thing. So what do you do then? It's really easy. All you have to do is click on this. Okay, as you can see, it's activated when you notice the dotted lines around it. You click on replace. So inside Genially is already embedded with these various tools that you can use to find suitable pictures. One that I always like to use is Unsplash. I think their pictures are really nice, and these are under the Creative Commons, so you don't have to worry about copyright issue and all. So click on Unsplash, and then all you need to do is to put in a keyword to find a suitable picture. So here, say my topic is on subject verb agreement, right? So maybe I go with agree, and I just search. Okay, so I have like pictures that show something in agreement. So I look at it and I think that I like this picture. So I just click on it and I click replace. There, you have the picture already. So it's just as simple as that. Yeah. So now next thing is your questions. So this is your cover page. And then now we go to second page, which is your question. This is your first question. So if you are using the templates, it's really easy because all you need to do is just replace the text here with your own text. So here I want to change this to my question. So I have my questions ready and I just copy and I just paste it over here. Okay, since vaccination is the hot topic now, yeah? So we'll talk about vaccination in this quiz. All right, so here then I will need to provide the answer options, whether it's need or needs. Okay, now to make it easier, you go to the the third slide, which is the answer. And you see here by default, they have already chosen this one, as in, I will put it as red color, as the correct answer. Okay, so going back to my question here, my answer would be needs. So I would just change this as the correct answer. And then going back to my question page, I change this to the correct answer. And this is the wrong one. Okay. Now, the good thing about this is you can provide immediate feedback here for your students. So I will kind of tell my student why is the answer needs and not need. I'll just type something in to replace this part here. Okay. Right. Okay. So like this. Yep. And if you think that you want to emphasize words by bolding it, putting in italic, you can also do that. It's just like any Word document. You just highlight and you go up here. There is a bold, italic, or underline. So let's say I just want to bold this so that my students can see it more clearly. Where is the subject and where is the verb? Okay, that's how you do it. Okay, so similarly, if you want to adjust the font size, font type, all you have to do is highlight the text, go to the toolbar here. You have various font types. Okay, you can choose here, and also the font size that you can adjust from here. So it's really that easy to use. Okay, so now I have a fish here, which is again not quite suitable for my question. So what I do is I will, same thing, replace. And what do we do? Go to Unsplash, and so my question is about vaccine, right? Vaccine. Okay, let's just find a picture. Search. Okay, so I'll just choose this picture and replace it. There you go. Right? So now you might be like, thinking that, how does it really look like? Does it really look like what I imagine it to be? Okay, so there is this little I here, this I button that says preview. So what you do is click on it. And, oh, sorry, I should have previewed from the first page, yeah? So I was on the third page just now. So click here and click preview. So this is your preview. There, you have your cover page just now with your new topic and your subtopic here. So go to start, and there you have your question. And so let's check and see whether the answer is correct or not, yeah? So click on right one. Yep, so it's correct. So then how to go to the next question? The student will need to click next, and this will be the next question. So again, it's the same thing. You repeat the steps that I've shown you just now. You go back to edit and you move on to question 2. Do the same thing. Replace the text here. Replace the answer options. When you want to replace the answer options, it will be easier if you look at the next one to see, okay, now this one, the green one is the correct answer. So make sure that you put this one as the correct answer and this is the wrong answer. So all you need to do is just basically replace all the text that you find here in this template. All right. So I'm sure some of you may say, oh, I actually want to have more questions. Yeah. There are, in this template, there are only 5 questions. So what do you do? All you do is click on this button to add pages. Okay. So once you click, say, for example, I'm here and I just click add page. Okay. So they will ask you, just like in Microsoft PowerPoint, they will ask you what slide you want to add, right? So they have already given you here. So you can actually just choose which page is it that you want to add. So maybe I choose this and I just click add. So then I can continue doing by changing all these numbers here to add more questions and adding my answer options in. All right. So once you are done, what do? You click all set. All set means you are ready to publish and make it available to your students. So here you can change your title. Again, ours is on subject work agreement. Okay. So up to you. You might want to put indefinite pronouns. Okay, so the description here is optional. You can put down your description, answer all the questions, or you might want to say, select the best answer, or maybe they are supposed to read something that you have given them before they attempt this particular set of questions, something like that, okay? And then when you're done, you click all set. So you will have these options here now that your Genially is already available, published, and you want to share it with your students. So what do? You click share, and you can copy the link. So if you are using a free account, you will then be copying this one Okay, there's only this link that can be used. If you have a paid account, then you'll be able to copy as an exclusive page. So the difference between a social page and an exclusive page is an exclusive page is one that will just pop out as just your Genially and nothing else. Whereas a social page will come up with your Genially plus all the so-called advertisements at the bottom of it, you know, where there are many other webinars, which I feel that sometimes there are pros and cons. Usually for my students, I would prefer it as an exclusive page because I don't want my students to get distracted with other things.
Michelle,
yeah? So
we
yep.
have 2 questions. Maybe
okay.
you can enlighten them on the answers. The first one comes from Aiden Hadif. So he asks, can the quiz be converted into a different format, for example, PDF?
If you convert it into PDF, then there is really it has lost its interactive qualities to it. I mean, the whole purpose of doing it, you know, as in Genially, is to make it interactive. So if you convert it to PDF, then there is no interactivity anymore. I have never really tried to convert it. I'm trying to find whether there is a possibility of doing that or not. I don't think so. I don't see any options here at all.
Another question, Michelle. So Adrian asks how to include videos in the questions. Can you demonstrate to all of us?
Sure. Okay, so say if you want to insert a video, okay, I'm just going to put this here, yeah. So what you do is there are many buttons here on your left, okay? So this is where you can do various other things like finding different kind of tags, okay, which you can explore, putting in various types of images. There is also the resources, interactive elements, blocks, and here is where you can add your videos. So insert, there is audio, video, and others where you usually embed the code. Yeah. So for videos, if you have it in your Google Drive, all you need to do is click here, and then it will lead you to connect to your Google Drive. And just, I don't think I have any videos inside there now. But let me just try. I may have. Okay, it's taking a bit of a time. Okay, I have, let me see, where can I find some videos? Okay, let's try this. So this is my video. So say, for example, this is the video that I want to use. So I just choose this and add. So you've got to wait for it to appear. Sorry, it's taking a bit of a time, I think. Okay, it's slowly coming up. Okay, so let's try the preview and see whether it works or not, yeah? There, the video will appear here. You can actually also click on this to pop up. Okay, so the students can view the video in a bigger screen, bigger window. And taking a bit of a time. Is there any other questions, Dr. Aslin, maybe while waiting for the video to load?
There is a question. Okay, let me scroll it. All right, so there's a question from Nur Suharziani. Is there a time limit to the game link? For example, expire in 24 hours?
No, there is no time limit at all. It will always be there. Okay, so here the video has loaded already, and you can actually click and then play the video.
So can they add YouTube video, Michelle?
Yes, they can. They can,
Hope
using the same method that just now.
Thank you for the answer.
Right. So going back to our quiz here, as I was saying just now, there are actually many other buttons here that you might want to explore. One of it that you might want to try out is also the background, where if you think that this is too plain or this doesn't seem to suit your theme, you can actually choose other colors here. Okay. Or you can use whatever that's in the library, like this. And again, Unsplash and Pixabay is here. And you can just simply click on it and get a nicer picture as your background. If there is, this is not what you want, you can always click Show More. And again, the same thing, choose your image by clicking on this search bar here and type in your keyword. Okay, so it's just as simple as that, and you will have your game then ready. Once you have done with this, right, and let's go to leave. Once you have clicked all set and all, your game will then appear on your dashboard. It will always be on your dashboard, and if you think like there is an error later on, you can always go back and edit your game. Okay, it will always be there. Or if you think that maybe it's a little bit too short, you want to make it longer, you want to add more questions, you can always feel free to go back. See, this is the one that we have created just now. So click on edit, and it goes back to the same view that you have seen just now, where you can edit. Okay, so this is how a complete one would look like. So just to show you the difference between a social page, I will just copy this social page. So you can see the difference between having the game as... Okay, so you see here, there are a lot of things, okay? And one thing I like to also highlight to all the participants here is this. Okay, if you are using it as a social page, there is this transcript button here where it's practically everything that is in your Genially. So in a way, your students will be able to view all the questions and all the answers before they really attempt it. So you just have to take note of this. But if you are using a free account, you can't really avoid this one, because you can only share a social page. So what you can do is to kind of like embed your answers as a picture. Okay, so what do I mean by embedding your answer as a picture? Okay, I'm just going to demonstrate to you, yeah.
Michelle, while waiting, we have a question. How do we track students' progress? Okay, this is something that a while ago, I think sometime end of the year, last year, I heard that Genially is trying to add some features, and one of it is tracking students' achievement or performance while using this. But so far, I've not heard anything about it. Yeah. So what happens for mine is
there is actually no way of tracking students' achievement or performance in this games that you have created here. But what I do is, there is one of the game that I think I've shared with you, Dr. Faslin, the one on jobless not, the last one. It's actually an escape game. So there is a kind of like a storyline to it as the student progress through the questions. So I put that in my LMS, and after the activity, after completing that Genially task, they will have another quiz, and I will have questions there where it's related to that particular Genially. So if they had gone through the entire game, then they will be able to answer the questions in that quiz. So if they did not complete that quiz in Genially, they wouldn't be able to complete that quiz in the LMS. So that is one of the methods that I've used to track my students' performance. Okay. The other thing that you can possibly do is things like, if let's say you are doing things like, let me see, I have another one which is on linking words, compound nouns. So what the students need to do is they need to join the word on the right to the left, and then they will come up with a new word. So what they need to do is they need to then complete the quiz in my LMS and put in the answers for that compound nouns that they have created. Okay. Or it could be maybe also like if you're doing games for countable and uncountable nouns. Okay. Then after, I have one that is on categorizing countable nouns and uncountable nouns. So what the students would do is first categorize them accordingly, and then my subsequent activity inside the LMS is a quiz on the verb that they would use for that particular noun. So if they had done the first activity in Genially and they have categorized it correctly, even if they have categorized it wrongly, but they will be prompted to the correct one. This is the one. But they have been prompted to the correct answers, then they will be able to do the subsequent activity in the LMS to put in the correct verb for that particular noun. Okay. So this is the one. So what the students will do is just go to the preview page so that it looks, this is what the students will see. So they will need to categorize. So all these words here, they are draggable. So this is another thing that I'd like to show you. If you have this little hand here, it shows that these are all the items that are draggable. If there is this one, it shows that there are interactive, means if you click on it, something will happen. So see, this is the solution here. So basically what the students will do is, this is the first activity and they need to categorize them. And then after doing that, they check and make sure they get the correct solution. And then my subsequent activity in the LMS is where they will need to see these words in sentences and they put in the correct verb that agrees to the noun. So that is one way that I use to track students' performance and to check that they actually attempted the quizzes here.
All right. We have one question from Andrea. So the question is, may I know if there's any possibility for collaboration to happen during the development of the game through Genially? Meaning that, can we share with others on developing the same game, or it's not possible?
Good question, Andrea. Yes, that's what I'm going to show you next. Yes, it's possible to collaborate. You see this button here? It says collaborators. So if you click on it, and then it shows that now I'm the owner. So all you need to do is type in the email of your collaborators. Say This is my other, this is another account that's mine, but it's the unpaid version. So I just click invite. Okay, so when I log in into the other account, then it will appear on my dashboard, just like how it appears here. Let me show you. Okay, but one thing you need to note is if you are working on collaboration, so if I am editing that Genially, say, for example, if I'm collaborating with Dr. Asdin, yeah, so if I'm doing it now, Dr. Asdin will not be able to open the Genially. Yeah, it will show that Michelle is working on it, she's editing, so you can't open it. So only when I finish my part, I close it, then Dr. Asdin will be able to, you know, open it and edit it. So it's unlike what you call, like Google Sheets or, you know, Google Doc, that kind of thing, where you can actually work together, or Jamboard, that you can do it together at the same time. Okay, so if you see here, this one, there are two heads here. So these are the ones that there is a collaborator. Okay. So this is, if I'm not wrong, it doesn't belong to me. Okay, let me click edit. Yeah, this doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the other account, which is a free account. But you have to take note that if you are working with between a free and a paid account, the paid account person will not be able to do what she is able to do in a paid account. So example, yeah, like this one. So this is actually the owner. Okay, it belongs to, this is the owner, yeah, which is also me, but this is the free account. Okay, but I'm using this now as the paid account. So as a paid account owner, I can add background music, but because this is created by the free account, I cannot add background music. It's not possible for me to do it. Okay, so the limitation is there if you are collaborating with, you know, another person who doesn't have the same features on yours. Okay. Are there any more questions?
They were asking question about they are interested in the game that you let us play at the beginning. So remember, like the first game that you shared with us. So they're interested in that. We can explore more in the future.
Yes. So one more thing I want to show you is the animation. So as you can see here just now, this is the one that we were creating together. Yeah. So let me just give you the preview again. So here you see this start button here. It's rather so-called, I would say, plain. So we can actually give it some life. Okay. What do we do? Just go back to edit, and you click on this start button, and you will see all these things here. Yeah. So this is the animation button. So the thing is, just now you see the word start, like it flies in like that. That is actually one animation, but you can also add other animations. You see here. So, and in terms of entrance, there is already this animation slide in, and it's sliding in from the left. Okay. Now I want it to have, like, you know, some movements, continuous movement throughout. So I click on continuous, and then I can choose whatever that I want, like, you know. Okay, so this is the one that I've chosen. I want it to pause. Okay, and then I go to preview again. Okay, can you see it moving? Yeah. All right, so that's how you can create animation. Okay, so that there is a little bit more life in the things that you put in your Genially. Okay, you can do that to anything. Basically, all this here. Okay, so maybe say, for example, the answers here, you want to give it some animation, some animation here. You want to hover your mouse over and then something will happen to it. Maybe it expands. Okay. Give it some heartbeat. Okay. And we go preview. So can you see when you put your mouse over it, there is some kind of movement. Okay, whereas this one, I didn't do anything, there's nothing. Okay, so that's how you actually make things alive in Genially compared to, you know, just giving your students like question and then ABC, question and then ABC, question and ABC. So by doing this kind of things, you will find that students are, you know, they are more fascinated, they are more interested, there's more colors and more interactivity in the quizzes that you set up for your students. Right? Are there any more questions?
Right. So Anthony asked a question. For the presentation, can we do like on your screen as we speak, the slide appear? So you know, like on YouTube, like they can show the quiz and your profile or your picture is on the side. So is it possible to do on Genially?
Oh, you mean my earlier presentation where the things are flying in? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. It's a different that one that I did just now for the presentation is actually a different app that I'm using. The one that you see here, this one. Okay, this one is actually Prezi Video. Prezi. Okay, so it's a different kind of app. This one, no, it cannot do the same thing as what I did just now. Any more questions before I move on to showing interactive elements?
I think you can.
Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so one more thing here that you might want to use in your quizzes would be these interactive elements. Okay, basically these are things that will kind of like, you know, have some kind of movements to show your students that, hey, you can click here for some additional information. Example, so the student is on this page now, okay, this question, but the student cannot remember for the subject anyone if it should be a singular or a plural or what, you know, the student should write there. Okay, so what you can do is you can use interactive elements, see here, yeah, and then you add a button. Okay, there are many types of buttons here, so can show more and you can find more buttons here, different colors, different designs. Okay, so maybe I want to use this I as in like, you know, for more information, you can click here. Now, maybe it looks rather boring, right? So what you do is you can change the color. It's gray now and I don't like it because it's boring. So I can put like red or blue or pink, anything like that. Yep. Okay, and then I want to add information for my student to you know, kind of like remind them for anyone, is it singular or plural? So what I do is I can just click on this and then you see this button here called interactivity. You click on this button. Okay, so there are 4 things that you can do with this button. You can put a tooltip. Okay, a tooltip is usually used for very little content where the student actually move the mouse over it, it will pop up just like this one. Okay, and for this one, window is where they move the mouse over and they click on it. They got to click on it, okay? And usually this is used for more content, longer, yeah? Or you can go to a page a page. You remember page meaning pages here? Okay, pages here. These are pages. You can actually allow students to click on this button and move to a page where they'll be directed with directed to a list of maybe some clues or hints to answer this question. Okay, and lastly, you can link it to another page where it will open to a new tab, perhaps your notes in Google Drive or in another another platform that maybe it's a YouTube video or anything like that you want your students to watch to refresh and to remind them on different indefinite pronouns and what do you use with it. Okay, so example, let's say if I choose to tip, I just click on it, and then here you can type in the clue or the hint. So maybe I just put here anyone, it's singular. Now, okay, so same thing, just like your Word document, you can just change all this here accordingly. Yep. So once I'm done with this and I save it. Okay. Right. So again, you can put it some animation if you want to. Basically, everything on your page here, you can put animation. Okay, let's look at it now. Preview. And do you see this here? So I just hover my mouse over and this information will appear. So it tells my student, oh, anyone is singular. Okay, so singular noun, then the student will answer singular noun. What should it be? Okay.
Michelle, we have one question. So one of our viewers is interested to know what LMS did you use?
We are using Canvas. Okay, I think in schools you use Google Classroom, right? All schools use Google Classroom. So you can actually here share your content via Google Classroom. Okay, I'm not so familiar with Google Classroom because the last time I used Google Classroom was like maybe 5 years ago, probably. So I'm sure they have developed a lot. So you can try it out and see how it links to Google Classroom from here. Right. So you see this one that I've added for you just now. All these interactive elements here has got this effect. Can you see the effect where it's like, it's like kind of like growing and growing? It kind of like can indicate to your students that there is something there that they can click on to find answers. So maybe because the background here is white now, you don't really see the glowing effect. Yeah. Okay. So interactive elements is actually one of the great thing about Genially. You can practically add interactive elements anywhere and everywhere. Okay, right? So like just to show you, there's one because you're talking about games, like I've mentioned, pre-COVID days, I like to use board games with my students, and I think that's something that I really miss doing with my students. So what do is I try to turn those board games into digital board games. So this is something that is also available here, and it's really easy, like this one. Okay, and you can use all these interactive elements that I've showed you just now and just basically like plot them into your board game, and you can play that with your students. So let me show you this one. You see all these are the interactive elements here. So if I preview this, okay, so you see here. So I put this is a tooltip like I showed you just now. So by putting your mouse near it, it will show you the question, okay? Whereas this one, yeah, it says surprise, and that's just the tip of it, okay? So students will have to click onto it to see what's the surprise. The surprise is move forward one step, okay? So this one is also danger, yeah? But what's the danger about? So they have to move 5 steps back. So these are game pieces where students can move just like how they can do it in a real physical board game, okay? So there is also the die here that's available, and they can just click on it and play, right? So all this I've created with the free template. Just a few minutes is all you need to do to just replace all these things here and there you have it. It's done, just like magic.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
You're most welcome. So I really hope that you have benefited from this session here. My advice to all is when you want to create a quiz or a game like that, first have your list of questions ready. Okay, then think about whether if there is a certain theme that you want to follow, then you can look it up in the Genially templates. Okay, for a start, I would suggest using the templates, the ready templates, and just, you know, replace the text like how I've shown you just now. So maybe as you are more familiar with Genially, you can start creating your own ones from scratch. Okay, all right. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you so much, Michelle. All right. Let's see. All right. So I would like to thank Michelle for amazing presentation as she shared and showed us the amazing possibilities that we can use with Genially. So I would like to show all of you. All right. I would like to show all of you how you can go to Improve and log in into our micro credentials. Give me a second. All right. Okay, so this is the web page that that is linked with the webinar that we are having today. And for your information, this is a webinar plus micro course LMS, where the duration altogether are 4 hours, 1 hour webinar and 3 hour micro course. And for those who are MOE Malaysian participants, please take note of the class code here. However, if you are not an MOE Malaysian participant, your international participant, please take note this is your class code, right? And please feel free to check some of the activities, and upon completion, you will be awarded e-certificate as well as points. These are some information that you can see here. Okay, you have to go to IMPROVE.ELTC.edu.my and you can complete and view your profile. All right, and complete all the things, and you will be awarded certificate and course record will also appear here. This is an example of your e-certificate, and it will be generated in a PDF format. For your information, this is also applicable in SPLKPM, and you will get your credit hours. Please follow all the required steps in order for you to get the 4 hours credit. All right. And last but not least, I would like to show you this. All right. For those who missed the QR code, you can scan the QR code to have access to our webinar as well as our micro credential for today. Thank you so much, Michelle. We are so delighted to have you here. And we hope that this is not the end of our collaboration. We are looking forward to collaborating with Michelle, and we would like to bring more amazing and beneficial webinar to all of you. That's all from me, Dr. Nur Fazlin, and my team. And thank you for viewing and participating in this webinar. Have a nice day. Thank you, Michelle.
Right, stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.